The South China Sea has become one of the world's most contested and strategically significant regions, drawing the attention of global powers and regional neighbors alike. Many countries, including the Philippines, China, Vietnam, Malaysia, and others, claim parts of this vast maritime area, each citing historical and legal grounds for their assertions. In recent years, these disputes have grown more heated, leading to frequent confrontations at sea, with naval and coast guard vessels from rival nations coming dangerously close to open conflict. The presence of valuable resources, such as oil, natural gas, and rich fishing grounds, combined with some of the world's busiest shipping lanes, makes the region even more critical for global trade and energy security. Tensions have escalated as China has built artificial islands, equipped them with military facilities, and increased its naval and air force presence, asserting control over disputed waters. These actions have alarmed neighboring countries, who see them as aggressive and illegal moves that threaten their own sovereignty and regional stability. The Philippines, in particular, has faced growing challenges as Chinese vessels repeatedly enter waters it claims as its own, leading to tense standoffs and diplomatic protests. These repeated incidents have raised fears of a potential conflict, as even a small miscalculation at sea could quickly escalate into a larger crisis. The United States has voiced strong support for the Philippines and other Southeast Asian nations, emphasizing its commitment to regional allies and the importance of a free and open Indo-Pacific. U.S. officials say they want to uphold international law, particularly the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, and ensure freedom of navigation for all countries in these vital waters. The situation remains tense, with both military and diplomatic efforts underway as countries seek to avoid escalation while defending their interests. As tensions rise, the Philippines is looking for ways to strengthen its defenses, modernizing its military, and increasing patrols in its territorial waters. This search for security has led to deeper cooperation with the United States, including welcoming more U.S. missile systems onto Philippine soil, and conducting joint military exercises to boost readiness and deterrence. The South China Sea is not just a local issue, it affects the whole world. Stretching over 3.5 million square kilometers, this body of water is a vital artery for international commerce and security, connecting the Pacific and Indian Oceans. Every year, trillions of dollars worth of goods pass through its waters. In fact, nearly 1/3 of all global maritime trade flows through these sea lanes, making it one of the busiest and most important shipping corridors on the planet. Major economies, including China, Japan, South Korea, and many Western nations, depend on these sea lanes for trade and energy supplies. Oil, natural gas, and manufactured goods all move through this region, fueling industries and homes worldwide. Any disruption, whether from conflict, piracy, or natural disaster, could have serious global effects, causing price spikes, shortages, and economic instability far beyond Asia. Countries in the region, including Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, also have overlapping claims. Each nation seeks to protect its own interests, leading to frequent diplomatic standoffs and tense negotiations. This has led to a complex web of disputes, with no easy solutions in sight. The overlapping claims make the region a diplomatic minefield. China's claim covers nearly the entire sea, marked by its 9-dash line, which other countries and international courts do not recognize. This sweeping claim is a major source of tension and has drawn criticism from the global community. Control of the South China Sea means control of key trade routes and potential oil and gas reserves. The seabed is believed to hold vast, untapped resources, making the stakes even higher for all involved. For the Philippines, protecting its maritime rights is about both security and economic survival. Access to fishing grounds and energy resources is crucial for millions of Filipinos. The stakes are high for everyone involved. Military posturing and arms buildups have become common, raising the risk of accidental clashes or escalation. Because of its importance, any military buildup or new weapon deployment in the region draws international attention. The world watches closely, aware that tensions here could spark wider conflict. The recent decision by the Philippines to accept more U.S. missile systems is the latest turn in this ongoing drama, signaling a new phase in the struggle for influence and security in the South China Sea. The United States has started placing advanced missile systems in the northern Philippines. These include the Typhoon mid-range missile system and anti-ship missile launchers. The goal is to improve the Philippines' ability to defend its territory, especially against threats in the South China Sea. These missiles are not offensive weapons meant to start a war. Instead, they are designed to deter aggression and protect Philippine interests. The systems can target ships or other military assets that might threaten nearby islands or sea lanes. During recent military drills, U.S. forces showed Filipino troops how to operate these weapons. Philippine officials have stressed that the deployments are temporary and defensive. The presence of U.S. MS missiles is meant to send a message: the Philippines will not stand alone if threatened. With these new capabilities, the Philippines hopes to create a strong line of defense, making it riskier for any country to use force in disputed areas. Alongside missile deployments, the U.S. and the Philippines have increased their joint military activities. These exercises, such as Balikatan, involve thousands of troops and advanced equipment. The goal is to improve coordination and readiness for any potential crisis. Through these drills, Philippine forces learn to use new technologies and tactics. The U.S. provides training on everything from drone operations to disaster response. This partnership is helping the Philippines modernize its military, which has long lagged behind its neighbors. The exercises also send a strong signal to other countries. They show that the U.S. and the Philippines are ready to defend each other if needed. This public show of unity is meant to deter potential aggressors and reassure the Filipino people. Defense modernization is a top priority for the Philippine government. With U.S. support, it hopes to build a force that can respond to both traditional and modern threats in the region. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr., along with other top government officials, have made their position on the issue abundantly clear to both the Filipino people and the international community. The Philippines, they assert, has the sovereign right to determine its own defense policies and strategies, free from external interference or coercion. According to these officials, the decision to welcome United States missile systems onto Philippine soil is not about provoking conflict, but rather about ensuring the safety and security of the nation's citizens and territory. Philippine leaders consistently argue that their primary objective is to defend national sovereignty and uphold the country's territorial integrity, especially in the face of growing regional tensions. They frequently highlight repeated incidents in the South China Sea, where Chinese vessels have blocked, harassed, or even endangered Filipino fishing boats and maritime patrols, raising serious concerns about the safety of Filipino citizens at sea. The government maintains that deploying new missile systems is a necessary step to deter further aggression and to prevent these dangerous encounters from escalating into open conflict or a larger crisis. When China demanded the removal of United States missiles from Philippine territory, the Philippine government responded with a firm and unequivocal refusal, standing its ground on the matter. Officials have repeatedly stressed that all decisions regarding defense and security are made solely in the national interest and are not the result of pressure from any foreign power, whether ally or rival. They also emphasize that the missile deployments are strictly defensive in nature and are fully permitted under international law, including the United Nations Charter and other relevant treaties. By standing firm in the face of external demands, the Philippine government aims to send a clear message to its citizens and to the world. It will not be intimidated or coerced into compromising its sovereignty. Through these actions, the government seeks to reassure its allies of its commitment to regional security, while also deterring any nation that might consider threatening the Philippines' independence or territorial rights. China strongly objects to the deployment of United States missile systems in the Philippines. Chinese officials say these moves threaten regional peace and could trigger an arms race. They argue that the presence of advanced United States weapons so close to Chinese territory is just unacceptable. China believes the United States is using the Philippines to contain its influence in the region. It views the missile deployments as part of a broader strategy to challenge China's rise. Chinese leaders warn that such actions could lead to misunderstanding or even conflict. Beijing has called on the Philippines to reconsider, offering economic incentives and warning of possible consequences. Chinese media regularly criticize Manila's decision, claiming it harms regional trust and stability. Despite these objections, the Philippines and the United States argue that their actions are legal and necessary for defense. The situation, honestly, remains tense, with neither side willing to back down. The 1951 Mutual Defense Treaty between the United States and the Philippines is the foundation of their security cooperation. Under this agreement, both countries promise to help each other if either is attacked. The treaty covers armed attacks on either country's territory, including in the Pacific. This treaty gives the Philippines confidence to face regional threats. It assures them that the United States will provide military support if needed. For the United States, the treaty provides a legal basis to maintain a military presence in the Indo-Pacific. The alliance is regularly strengthened through joint statements, planning, and exercises. Both countries see the treaty as a way to keep the balance of power and deter potential adversaries. It also reassures other allies that the United States is committed to regional security. As tensions in the South China Sea rise, the Mutual Defense Treaty becomes even more important. It serves as both a shield and a warning to those considering aggressive actions. Deterrence is about convincing others not to start a conflict. By building strong defenses and forming alliances, countries can prevent wars before they start. The deployment of United States missiles in the Philippines is meant to show that any attack would come at a high cost. Officials from both countries say their goal is to keep the peace. They believe that showing strength is the best way to avoid misunderstandings and accidents. The message is clear. The Philippines and the United States are ready to defend their interests. Deterrence is not just about weapons, it also involves diplomacy, communication, and confidence building. The United States and the Philippines continue to talk to other countries in the region, urging everyone to respect international law and solve disputes peacefully. By focusing on deterrence, the two allies hope to maintain stability in the South China Sea and the wider Indo-Pacific region. The South China Sea is one of the busiest shipping routes in the world. Every day, thousands of ships carrying oil, gas, and goods pass through its waters. Any blockade or conflict here would disrupt global trade and harm many countries. The United States and the Philippines stress the importance of keeping these sea lanes open. They argue that military cooperation and missile deployments help ensure freedom of navigation. This is not just about security, it is also about the economy and people's daily lives. Maintaining peace in the South China Sea benefits everyone. It allows trade to flow, keeps prices stable, and supports growth across Asia and beyond. The international community watches closely, knowing that what happens here affects the whole world. In the end, the Philippines' decision to welcome more United States missiles is about more than defense. It is about protecting sovereignty, securing trade, and promoting peace in a complex and vital region.